What's good, guys? This is Vahagraphy. I'm Vahagan, your rock and roll photographer. Let's talk about the rumored Z Nikon 24-70 Mark II 2.8 lens, rumored to come out or announced today, tomorrow, the next day, this week. I don't know. Let's talk about it. The good, the bad, and the questionable, because I have a few questions for Nikon in this video. Okay. Is it a good idea? Sure. Always. The Mark IIs of something is a welcome sight. The two notable updates that I'm looking forward to, if true, is internal zooming, which, the current version, zoom in, zoom out, the lens expands. Do I like that? I could do without it. Does it bother me? No, it doesn't. Why it doesn't bother me, the current version that expands like that, is that the lens is so good, visually, technically, the lens is superb performer that those little things don't really bother me. Internal zooming, what does that mean? Well, if the new version has it, and I'm suspecting that it should, right? Then it's a whole new redesign. Will that make the lens bigger? Yes, in my opinion. But you're not going to get lens expanding or collapsing like that when zooming. That is a welcome sight. The other thing that comes to mind, and it's popular in the comment section, is VR. Lens having VR. Now you gotta understand, if the lens has VR, then the weight goes up. Have you guys used the F-mount 24-70 without VR? The first generation, it's heavy. It's a heavy lens. Great lens, but it's a heavy lens. VR adds weight. Now, we all know the plus sides of having VR on the lens, but do we really need that as photographers? Videographers, maybe. It's a welcome sight, right? But that's going to add weight, adding VR. Okay. Some were talking about the display, cutting costs. We don't need that display there. The nice little LCD on the lens. I'm a big fan of that. I don't know. It just adds prestige. It just adds a nice look to it. I don't mind having it. And I don't know why Nikon is doing away with those little cool knickknacks on a lens. They came out with it. It was cool. And that's why I like the originals. And I'm keeping the original Z-mount lenses. A la 105MC, the 24-70 the 7200 one, 1424, because it has that little display, the 51.2. I like that. Do I need it? No, of course not. We don't need it. But I like it. I don't mind it. And I don't mind that at all. I think it just adds a little bit of, coolness to the lens. Now, if they did away with it, that's fine. It wouldn't stop me from buying this lens. Other things that people were talking about is redefining the rubbers and the look of the lens. No one's talking about the technical side of the glass, if it's going to have more elements, what it's going to entail, if it's going to correct, it's going to have better distortion, better vignetting control. All those technical sides, I didn't hear anybody talking about that. I don't see how they can improve on it better than what it already is. So that, to me, I don't know. Does that make sense? I don't know if it does, because this lens is already spectacular. The sharpness, just the way the zoom, the work, the bokeh, the 2.8, it's great. Now here's what I'm thinking about. So this is the Mark II, rumored to come out. This is the Mark II version of this lens. I have a question for you guys. And I have a question for Nikon as well. Usually when they explore version 2s of something, doesn't that mean that they've already, went full circle with their lens lineup? And does this mean that they've exhausted everything that they could with new lenses? There's a lot of lenses that photographers and videographers want from Nikon, and I think they're not done yet. A couple of lenses that are popular in demand right now. A new 105 1.4, judging from the comments that I've got and personal wants. A 200 f2, lighter version of the current one, which is really heavy, the f-mount version. 200 f2 with a built-in TC, turning it into a 300 2.8. Would be a phenomenal lens. Nikon should explore the f2 options like everybody else is doing right now on their hits. Sony just came out with a super zoom, which is a 1.8 constant, 150 to, I forget what it was. Was it 300? Something like that. They're 1.8s. Canon, Sony, 28 to 70 f2. They haven't explored that market yet, Nikon. A super wide-angle prime we don't have. Other lenses like a fixed 300, a fixed 500. So there are many options. Tilt shift lenses. So shouldn't they be worried about Mark IIs when they've exhausted all the roadmap of the lenses? That's a question I want to ask. So the words of the late, great Hulk Hogan. Come on, brother. Come on, brother. Come on, Nikon. We lost Hulk Hogan. We also lost the Prince of Darkness this year, Ozzy Osbourne. That was coming, the writing was on the wall. And the remarkable thing about Ozzy was that he did a last show, and they said they labeled it as the last Ozzy Osbourne Sabbath show. I think he knew. His time on this earth was coming to an end, and he knew he was passing, but he kicked major ass on that concert. Ozzy Osbourne, rest in peace. The Prince of Darkness. I love Ozzy Osbourne. Anyway, not to change topics here. So you let me know, guys. That is a major question I want to ask Nikon. Are they not looking to expand their roadmap of lenses? Is this why they're coming out with the Mark II? And another question I want to ask, is it an excuse to bust up the prices without people rebelling, really? Rehouse the lens, come up with some few knickknacks here and there, few features. Now, I'll be disappointed if this lens really doesn't take care of the internal zooming option, which people want. If they just come out with a Mark II just to come out with the Mark II without a display, and they come up with a few, technically sound features when it comes to the lens elements, and it's virtually like the same lens, then I'll be disappointed. People want VR, I guess. People want internal zooming. But the $500 more option, is that $500 more retail? Because right now this lens is currently at $300 off retail, $2,100. So rumor has it that it's going to be $500 more of what? $500 more of the retail, which brings it up to closer to $3,000, or $500 more current price retail after the rebates, which would be $2,600. That's a question that we'll find out soon, if this is even true. Now Nikon might come out and surprise us and come out with an f2 version. Say, hey, you know what? Here's a 28 to 85 f2. Nikon S, VR, you name it, everything all in one. That'd be great, So is there much to improve on with the Mark I? No, this lens is great. The only drawback that I see that this version 1 has is the zooming, that the lens expands. Not by much. It doesn't bother me, but internal zooming could be cool with this new lens. So you let me know in the comments below. You let me know what you think of this rumor. We're expected to hear something soon. Rumor, tomorrow maybe, or tonight maybe. We'll see. or not at all. It was just an inflated rumor. So we'll see what happens with that. So, hey guys, whatever it is, it's a welcome sight. Obviously, we want Nikon to come out with new options for us, OEM options. But the only issue that I have is there's a lot more holes to fill before we talk about Mark II of an already fantastic lens. The resources could be put somewhere else where we need resources to be put. And usually, not all cases, but usually when we talk Mark IIs of something, usually the new bodies fall soon right after. So is this a sign of a Z9II coming out? Is this a sign of a Z8II? Is this a sign of a Z500 or a Z7 III? ZF2? No ZF2. I like the ZF as is, guys. Don't touch it. Other than maybe adding a 4K 60 to a ZF, that would be awesome. Can it be done via firmware? I don't think so, but it would be awesome to have full frame 4K 60, not 4K 60 crop, which the ZF is doing currently. But right now I'm recording with the ZF, and I have the 35S on. The 35, it's not the 1.2, guys. Calm down. It's the 1.8 original S at 1.8, 60th of a second, 4K 30, full frame. I like this lens. I don't know why people talk shit about this lens. This 35S 1.8 original. I don't know why people don't like this lens. I really like it. And it's a great performer on the ZF. As you could see, I have face tracking on. And going from hand to face, no problem. 1.8 wide open, doing video, ISO 100, 10-bit. And I like it. I like the setup. The ZF with the 35S. Anyway. Oops. I think I said Siri or Alexa. Please unlock the device. Yeah. I guess my Amazon tablet thought I said Alexa. Please unlock the device to continue. Shut up. I don't want to unlock the device to continue. Anyway, that's my thoughts on the 24-70 Mark II 2.8 SVR. If true, let me know in the comments. Are you disappointed at Nikon's? If true, are you disappointed with this release, or if you're happy or you're looking forward to it? And what do you think of the price? What do you think of this $3,000 price tag? If true, we're just speculating here, guys, and there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing set in stone. Like I said, it's a rumor, and there's nothing wrong with just talking about it. With my fellow Nikonians out there in the world. Special shout out to my wonderful, powerful subscribers. I got that from NG Slot. My wonderful, powerful subscribers. No, but a special shout out to you guys for sticking through and commenting on a regular basis and watching my videos. Special shout out to you guys. You know who you are. And we're going to make this thing work. We're going to make this thing fun again. We're going to make Vahagraphy fun again, guys. Because it was fun when I started. So we're going to get that same vibe going on this channel right here called Vahagraphy. Oh, yeah. Brother. Hulk Hogan was I think he was the most famous WWF, WWE superstar. I think all the Hulkamaniacs out there. Were you a Hulkamaniac? That's where right around the time where when he was coming up and when he was at his peak, that was right around the time that I was going to elementary school. So I was a big fan of Hulk Hogan. I was a Hulkamaniac, but I like the Ultimate Warrior better. WrestleMania, remember Ultimate Warrior and Hulk Hogan? That was like one of the greatest WrestleManias that I've ever watched. Anyway, let me know if you're a fan. Rest in peace, brother. Rest in peace. Oh, yeah. What you gonna do when the Hulkster comes after you? All right, guys. Have a great day. It's hot in Southern California. It's Tuesday and a lot going on, and looking forward to tackling all my goals. Rock and roll. This is Vahagraphy. I'm Vahagraphy, your rock and roll photographer. We'll see you soon, guys. Leave it in the comments, guys. Leave it in the comments. Let me know. Rock and roll. Yeah, brother. I think that was one take. There's one thing I got to cut in there, but I will cut it. But I think other than that, this was all only one take. Natural. There's one thing I got to cut, though. Yep. Put your phone on silent mode, guys, if you're recording something, because you don't want to be bothered by text or calls when you do this. I think we should have cut long time ago. Yep. Go out and shoot something today. I feel like taking some pictures. I don't know. Should I take some of my old DSLR out and do some pictures? Because that D3X versus Z9 video is my most popular video to date. It has 88,000 views, which is my highest watched video. That's something to do because I was drunk on that video. I don't know. Anyway, cut it out. Rock and roll.